Hi, I'm Laura with Mural Dreams, and in this video, you're gonna learn all of the tools and supplies that you need to paint the mural. Coming right up! Hey, welcome to my channel. This is the first of a 4-part series where I'm gonna teach you everything that I learned in my 7 year of mural painting. So in this episode, let's find out what you need to paint a mural. So to paint a mural, you first need, of course, paints. When I started painting, I just used the regular house paints like this. Even now I use them. This is the Sherwin Williams outdoor paint. This is the Sherwin Williams indoor paint. The latex paints and the acrylic paints are water-based, and that's the only thing that I use for my paintings. They are quick drying, they have low VOC, low volatile organic compounds. They come in various finishes. If you prefer a flat finish, that totally works too. In the beginning, I used flat because I wanted it not to be too glossy, but then after a couple of paintings, I learned that for mural painting, a satin finish is better because you can mix the colors much better. But to be honest, I really loved the way the Nightmare Before Christmas room came out and the Pepperland mural, and also my daughter's bedroom, the rainforest. I painted all of those with flat finishes and it wasn't so bad as they say. So if you prefer a flat finish, that's totally fine. It blends just fine. You can also use glossy finish. I particularly don't like the glossy. It reflects the light too much when I try to take a picture, which is a big one for me because I have to take the pictures, but you don't have to take the pictures. If you're just starting out, latex paint is great. I also use this kind of acrylic paints, you know, like the art paints. You can find really cool metallic sheens, or you can use the heavy body or the soft body, more professional paints. They probably last longer, but to be honest, I change my paintings, especially in my house, so often that it doesn't really matter. Every mural that I painted since 7 years ago, they look exactly the same. So house paints are fine, student paints are fine, and also these, I primarily reserve them for the canvas paintings, but you can use these too. Water-based paints are great because they're durable, they're washable, they have low volatile organic compounds, they come in various finishes, they're resistant to mold, to fungus, and they're flexible, so that means they don't crack. Sometimes enamel paints or oil paints will crack with time and they'll yellow. Well, these don't. Also for the bigger projects, sometimes I use the really big economy paints, especially for my house since I paint over so much. We're gonna paint a mural at the end of this series. A wide variety of fine art brushes and standard brushes are needed when painting a large mural. The right tool for the right job makes painting so much easier and faster. So when you're starting out, just make sure you have a variety of brushes. 2.5-inch brush, you can buy these at any home improvement store. I also dropped the link in the description below to most of the products that I'm referring to here. You can buy them online, it's much easier nowadays. 1.5-inch brush, 1-inch brush, 2-inch brush, whole bunch of brushes, and then some smaller brushes for when you get closer to the edges, you can just paint much easier. Also, you can use rollers. I'm not a big fan of rollers. Also, make sure you have a water bucket. So I sometimes travel with, I put all my bigger brushes in my water bucket. This is just an empty latex can that I just emptied out, I cleaned it out, and it keeps my brushes wet. Do not ever let your brushes get dry. They will get destroyed. So have a water bucket. You'll use these big brushes to lay in the background and for blocking in big shapes. You're gonna need some detail brushes for all the little details that you're gonna put in. You can get these from Michael's, from any kind of art store, even the home improvement store sells these. These are cheap brushes. You don't want the best brushes for your walls because they're gonna get destroyed very fast. These are really convenient. These are totally not the brushes that were in here, I just put them in, but they keep your brushes nice and organized. It's great to have them in a place if you're the kind of disorganized kind of artist like me. Brushes. You can also use sponges and rags to make textures on your walls, and I'm gonna show you how when we're gonna paint a mural together. Then you're probably not going to buy every single color of paint that you're gonna have. So you're gonna be mixing your colors to create different colors. So for that, it's really convenient to get yourself some containers. You can buy these from the dollar store. I always love to save everything. Like, these are mushroom containers, these are chicken containers. Get creative and economical with this. And then you can just cover them with something or put them in a Ziploc bag so the paint doesn't dry. Chicken liver container. Get creative. When you're painting and mixing your paint, I also use this to help blend the paints on the wall. So you put a percentage of this Floetrol. It's a paint additive that reduces brush strokes and roller marks. So also it helps the paint blend together more evenly on the wall, and it extends the wet time. So you have more time to go in and manipulate the paint. So I just put this in there. You can also use some artist's blending medium or retarder. To open your paint cans, make sure you have one of these openers, these key openers. I didn't get this when I first started, so I would always open my paint cans with a butter knife. I would also stir it. Butter knives are great when you don't have a paint can opener, but then you dedicate it mainly to painting. You're gonna need some painter's tape to tape those edges and the molding, the nearby walls, because you might get paint on there and you don't want to get paint where you don't want to get paint. You know what I mean? Here's a stirring stick to stir your paint in. To sketch the design on the wall, you're gonna need a pencil. These woodless graphite pencils are great for putting in your sketch on the walls. And then you might need an eraser. Some people don't like the pencil because it leaves the marks. They say you can see the graphite through the paint. I lay my paint quite thickly. I never see it, but if you have a problem with seeing it, then you can just use some chalk. When you're gonna be painting, you're gonna be needing a drop cloth because you're gonna drip some paints. As you can see, always have a drop cloth, trust me. You also might need a step ladder or a step stool, or if you're painting a really high mural, you can be using an actual ladder like this. If you're painting in a hard to reach place, then you might need to make a scaffolding or a ramp with 2 ladders. Most of the murals that I've painted were very easy to reach walls, so I didn't need the scaffolding. But if you're gonna be painting on a high wall, you might need a really tall ladder, or better yet, a scaffolding. But the most important thing you need to paint a mural is faith. Have confidence that you can do it. When I started painting my walls, I wasn't a muralist. I just moved into a house and I decided to decorate my walls, and then they just kept getting better and better, and it became a business. So just start where you are with whatever paints you have, whatever is easiest for you to get, and I know that you can do it. It does take preparation. You don't just go and paint a mural like I did in the past. I've learned, and I'm gonna teach you how to not make the same mistakes that I did. In the next video, I'll be sharing with you my 10 tips to remember when painting a mural. Till then, my friend, trust the flow.